All right, it is 7:14 now. The playing field for job seekers is changing because of all the tools employers use to screen candidates. The problem is, you can be eliminated even if you're a perfect fit. Here now to help boost your chance of getting that job is Connecticut Better Business Bureau Executive Communications Director. How you fit all that on a business card, I don't know, Howard Schwartz, but that's a lot. Anyway, so things have changed a lot even since just the days when I was in college and coming out, and you, I'm sure, when everything was on paper and so forth, but technology, the internet, it's like a double-edged sword. It can either hurt you or help you, right?
It can, and a good resume, qualifications, the interview, they're all very important, but that's once you get in the door, and therein lies the rub. Now, a lot of employers are overwhelmed by paper resumes, and they prefer that you apply online, and online job sites are very helpful, but a growing number of companies want you to apply on their sites. Now, even if you have those qualifications, and even if you have good connections on the inside, you may never even be invited in to be considered as a candidate, even if you're a perfect fit. And the reason is your reputation on the internet. And some of the things that we're posting are providing information that employers by law are not allowed to ask you, or people who you provide as references. And the problem is, in a lot of cases, people who'd be great applicants are providing the tools of their own undoing.
Yeah, because they can't ask you that, but it's there for public view. So is it enough just to adjust privacy settings?
No, it's not. And the reason is because you can find things on people as we know, the internet's got an awfully long memory.
Yeah.
Things can come up in Google searches, search engines. Obviously, they'll be checking MySpace, Facebook, LinkedIn, and especially Twitter. And they're looking for both negative and positives, but it's the negative things that are game changers. And by one estimate, 20% of employers are scanning the internet when they find someone who looks like a good candidate to find out, what has this person been saying? Have they been trashing institutions, former employers, individuals? Have they been going on rants on Twitter? And have they been posting inappropriate content, foul language, photos or descriptions of illegal drug use, and too much partying, obviously?
Does this, which is worse, things that the candidate says, or maybe are they looking for things that others say about them?
Well, and that's a good point, because you are judged by the company you keep. So it's not only what you've got in your profile, but what your friends have in their profile also. So there are a couple of things that you can do to prepare yourself, because you don't want to be eliminated. You put so much work into it. You don't want to be cut out before you even get a chance to get in the door.
And you might not even know why. They might not even tell you why.
Exactly.
Right?
So one of the things you can do is you can check out your internet footprint. You should be going on a search engine, Googling your own name, and finding out what comes up in that search. For example, you want to get rid of clues, things that would tell a potential boss you might not be a good candidate, somebody that they would be proud to have in their company. Who are your friends? Because who your friends are do have a lot to say about you. It's going to look sort of somewhat out of character if you've got this perfect reputation, and there are all kinds of parties and photos that friends have tagged you in as well. And one thing you can do to help yourself out is to create a second profile. So you might have one for family and friends and one for potential employers. We can really highlight the things you do in the community, things about your academic achievements and your work experience. You don't want to blow it before you even get in the door.
So that's establishing perhaps a nice profile for yourself. What if you do see something in that footprint that is unsavory? What can you do? I mean, can you get rid of it?
Well, it depends. There are people who do know how to push their content down in Google. It depends where it's coming from also. You may have a photo of yourself that someone else has posted that you'll have to ask them to get rid of. But once again, if people have been pulling this up, if there are things you don't want people to see, and I suppose the bottom line of this is start thinking now. If you're looking towards the job market, find out what they're going to know before they find it out. Okay, and we're near finishing up. We just had those tips up that you talked about. What else can you do to stay on a prospective employer's radar? Well, the things you can do, and this strikes at the heart of what everybody wants to know right now, is you don't want to pester them, but you want to follow up. Go to the online site, the corporate site, show interest in the job, research it so that by the time you can go in there, and obviously tailor your pitch to the specific job. They don't want someone to take a shotgun approach. So when you go in there, you should know about the industry, know about the company, and it's very important for a potential job candidate to ask questions themselves rather than sit there in a passive way and just respond to questions.
Okay, all right, so the internet or anything like that, all this new technology, relatively new technology that is, be careful how you use it.
Exactly.
All right, Howard Schwartz, always in education. Certainly always a pleasure to have you in here from the Better Business Bureau.
Thanks,
you know him, you love him. We certainly do. And you know what, Erica, I'm looking forward to what you have to say about today.